Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be making an updated hero wishlist guide, most importantly because Velka is now going to be a major priority to have on your wishlist, even for newer players or for anyone, basically because of her Supreme Plus skill upgrade, making her meta for Dream Realm bosses, which is just really crazy. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and begin from the start with the Lightbearers, and we're going to talk about which are the important heroes to upgrade, as well as which are the important Paragon priorities, and which are the heroes you can completely skip out on. Okay, so for the Lightbearer S levels, Sonya and Siren are the top two heroes. You'll want to upgrade them all the way up to Supreme Plus. Sonya will then stop there, but Siren you'll want to take even in Paragon because he's very strong in PvP. Along the way, you can get one copy of Rowan early on for some AFK stages and some overall usage. And eventually, when you're done with Sonya, you can also upgrade Rowan all the way to Supreme Plus because he's pretty good in PvP as a supporter, energy booster hero. However, you don't even have to build up Rowan. You can go for Perseus as another PvP option because Perseus is actually very strong in PvP. He's pretty meta in PvP. He's very oppressive with a lot of buffing supporting him. And he's a major Paragon priority. He's basically, along with Siren, these are the two heroes you're going to want to keep on your wish list for the long haul because both of them want to get Paragon upgraded so that they become to their maximum potential for PvP. As for the other S-level Lightbearers like Vala, like Temesia, Cassidy, Atalanta, you can honestly skip all of these heroes. They're just not needed for anything other than maybe if somehow in the future some seasonal mechanic, some charm, overpowered charms are given to these heroes. But like, you don't want to just build every hero to plan for that. It's more important just to build the meta heroes and just go all in on those heroes which are good for PvP like Perseus and Siren. You just want to keep them on your wishlist and Paragon upgrade them. Okay, for the A-level Lightbearers, we have Sinbad and Hugin. Sinbad is still very essential, and I still think he should be your starting hero you get up to that Supreme Plus level, along with Hugin. Both very useful for multiple Dream Realm bosses, and overall Hugin also for AFK stages. Zany is going to be the third hero though. Zany is useful for Dream Realm content like Blightshroom. She's in the top team, but it is a very peculiar, unique boss. Generally, Zany is not as good as like a Sinbad for Dream Realm, but because of how the Blightshroom boss works, Zany is actually in the top team. So these three Lightbearer heroes you want to upgrade. Now, a fourth Lightbearer hero is actually making a name for herself, which is Faye. And it is because she has a really good charm quality bonus this season, and for the Nocturne Judicator boss. Like, honestly, generally Faye will never be meta for Dream Realm. It's very, like, a lot of things had to line up to make her meta this season. But that being said, she usually always is a pretty good option for Ravage Realm as well, as like just an attack buffer, a healer. So Faye is also going to be a priority for you to build up. It could be even your fourth priority after you're done with Sinbad, Hugin, Zany. Could be Faye. And then just some other heroes, Merrily, for Ravage Realm. She deals pretty high damage output, so probably Merrily you'll want to get. And maybe even Walker eventually. He's pretty good for PvP as well with the stuns at the beginning of the match. But basically, for Paragon upgrades, is probably going to be Zany. She's strong in kind of like fortress type comps, just like almost unkillable comps where she can just have her turrets deal their damage. Usually like with the Pack 1 spell this season, we had the Guardian spell in the previous season. She's pretty strong in PvP. Hugin also good for PvP. So both of these are Paragon upgrade priorities. For PvP, Hugin and Zany would probably be my top two. Okay, moving on to the Maulers. So Maulers, there are going to be three key S-level heroes for PvE Dream Realm content. There was a Smokey, Mikola, and Shakir. And you'll want to get Mikola to Supreme Plus, Smokey to Mythic Plus, and then eventually Supreme Plus, but Mythic Plus is a big breakpoint for him. And Shakir Mythic Plus, and eventually Supreme Plus. So Shakir and Smokey, they both want to get Mythic Plus. Mikola wants all the way to Supreme Plus, like we've seen in Blightshroom, because after she casts her ultimate, she will remain with her Crit Sphere running for the whole duration of the match. It has a very unique effect thanks to her Supreme Plus skill upgrade. So it's very important you get her Supreme Plus. And Smokey and Shakir. Those are the three key S-level Maulers. You can pick up one copy of Brutus along the way. He can help with AFK stages if you want, although now we have a lot of options. You don't need to necessarily use Brutus. And then, so for PvP though, if we're coming to PvP, Zandrock is the most, in my opinion, he should be the highest S level priority for Paragon upgrading because of those temporary buffs he provides at the beginning of the match. They really scale well and synergize well with Perseus, even Lily May. And Zandrock can destroy that center boulder of Kulu at the beginning of the match. Zandrock is, and also that movement speed buff for your melee heroes, doubling their movement speed, allowing them to get into position more quickly. Zandrock is a major upgrade for Paragon priority, and he should be, after you've gotten like the Shakira, Mikola, Smokey combo all done and all to Supreme Plus, I would just put Zandrock on here and try to Paragon upgrade him. Along with him for Paragon upgrades, it's really up to you at this point. Like Shakir has use in PvP, especially at Theodore, Shakir combo, allowing Shakir to immediately ultimate. So I would probably say Shakir and Zandrock for the Paragon upgrading priority. For the A-level Maulers, it's a really weird situation. Coco, definitely, you have to get her to Mythic Plus and eventually Supreme Plus. She's useful for Dream Realm bosses where you need that damage reduction, that protection. And for pre-endless Dream Realm bosses, she's used a fair bit, even in some top meta teams. And early game, she's going to be very helpful. Now, the thing about Odie is like, the thing with A-level Maulers is like, Odie just is not used anymore. He's not meta, and other than just for Ravage Realm at the end of the season. But for an early game account, I think there's still probably some use you could have of Odie. If he's one of your first upgraded heroes and you use him, he can have some AFK stage use, some Dream Realm use, although he is not as good as like the best damage dealers we have anymore. But I still think everyone should probably still build Odie. I don't think you should just skip right past Odie. But you should definitely pick up one copy of Kruger, because that will help you for Dream Realm content. He applies all of his physical defense debuffs, even at that one copy. And then when you're done with Odie and Coco, begin getting your Kruger all the way to Supreme Plus. It will just improve your damage in Dream Realm, because he's using a lot of top Dream Realm teams. And then Citrana. So for Paragon upgrade priority, honestly, is basically Citrana. She's the only A-level Mauler I would consider like a really high priority for Paragon upgrade, because in those Bonnie dot comps, damage over time comps, Citrana also will spread massive vitality debuffs on the enemy, preventing their healing effectiveness and also dealing bonus damage. Like, Citrana is a perfect ally with Bonnie, and they have so much synergy. And so Citrana is going to be a major priority for Paragon. She's the most important A-level Mauler to be upgrading in Paragon. The other ones here, it's just up to you if you use them, you want to use them, if you want to Paragon upgrade them, or even build them. But really, the four key ones are Coco, Odie, Kruger for PvE content, and then Citrana for PvP content, and she's very strong. Okay, for the Wilders. Now, Wilder S level, look at the list. Like, we're approaching a point where we're gonna have to add 2 rows onto this wishlist list, which is crazy. Anyway, so Iron, of course, up to Mythic Plus is essential. Because for AFK stages, you cannot do without Iron. He is so important. Same reason Ulmus is important. I'm just gonna group them together because Ulmus and Iron, both at their Mythic Plus, they unlock incredible crowd control and incredible synergy together, allowing them to dominate AFK stages. But along with Iron, Valara also is very important. Valara is a hero that, like, you don't... The thing about Valara is that you don't... like, you're gonna use her a lot in pre-endless Dream Realm bosses in multiple top teams. And then in endless bosses, she still has some use, but not as dominant. In AFK stages, every time you're going to be using Valara, like Iron, Ulmus, Valara, they're like the new 3-man combo for AFK stages. So Valara gets just so much value. You'll want to take her all the way, max her out, like Supreme Plus. You don't need a Paragon because she's not a PvP hero, but Supreme Plus. And then you want to get Ravion. So, like, you want the big 3 Wilder S levels are Iron, Valara, Ravion. But Ravion, I would have to make number 3. But Ravion is very good for Dream Realm content as a buffer. Damage your sub DPS. Mainly for pre-endless bosses, but might have some minor use for endless bosses. He's just very good, Ravion. And so he should be your 3rd hero, and you should get all 3 of these heroes up to Supreme Plus. Now, talking about Paragon upgrading priority, and also other heroes you can build. So, Ravion is very important for Paragon upgrade because he's very good in PvP, giving unaffected to backline allies, buffing their attack massively, and then also giving them a lifesaver shield for survivability. He's exactly what you need in a PvP hero. But also Tassi and Lily May. Both of these two are major strong PvP heroes. You want a Paragon upgrade both of them as well. So for Paragon upgrade priority for a while, the S level is Ravion, Lily May, Tassi. Now in terms of the order, honestly I can't tell you an order. It will come down to your own preference, which one you do first, which one you do later. Personally for me, I really feel like Ravion and Lily May should be the priority. Like Tassi is good and everything, but I don't know. Ravion and Lily May have so much synergy together. They also have great synergy with Perseus, because like the temporary buffing nuking comps. I just feel like these two are a bit of more priority compared to Tassi. And like, Tassi used to be really good for AFK stages and needed for AFK stages, but now we have a lot of good options as damage for AFK stages, even Pheromore, which we'll be coming to. So yeah, that's for Paragon upgrade. Then we have the wild A levels. So Almas up until Mythic Plus minimum, you have to keep on the wish list, and eventually Supreme Plus. Pheromore as well, up until Mythic Plus minimum. Eventually Supreme Plus. Pheromore is really important for Dream Realm. He's in some top teams, meta teams. He is in AFK stages. So Pheromore is a very important hero to be building up, and definitely should be on your starter wish list. Now, after you're done with Almas and Pheromore, there are options here. Now, this is where things become interesting. Lenya is actually seeing meta usage in Necrodrake and Dream Realm boss for pre-endless bosses. However, the thing is, if you're watching this video right now and you don't have Lenya built up yet, it's unlikely that it's a good idea for you to start building Lenya now, because Necrodraken is probably going to be replaced at the end of this season, and and Lenya is also probably only good for pre-endless bosses. Although if you don't have like a Harak in endless, Lenya could potentially work even in endless difficulty of bosses. We'll have to see. But yeah, so Lenya has actually now come back a bit into the Dream Realm meta, making her a bit of a priority. But if you want to skip entirely on Lenya, that's totally fine as well. She's just very niche in Dream Realm right now, and I don't know how long-term her value in Dream Realm will be. Theodore is very good. Theodore is incredible in PvP. As you guys already know, the energy boost to the ally behind him, and then the Dark Moon Descent for defense shredding, and the crit boost to the ally behind him. Theodore is really strong. And for AFK stages also, Theodore is very meta, very used. So Theodore is also going to be a good hero. So personally, I would do Almas, Pheromore, and then followed up by Theodore. Get them all up to Mythic Plus, or maybe even Supreme Plus. And then you can choose among these other heroes. Now Arden, I would say just skip on Arden nowadays. Arden has AFK stage use, but that is it. And like we said, there are other heroes who can do his job. Like Pheromore is a good damager for AFK stage as well. You don't need Arden. Leica is a very niche sort of buffer for PvP, not really a major priority for people. Damien, he's a support, and he used to be really kind of a priority for PvP, but like nowadays, it's just kind of better to be running some other hero rather than Damien. So Damien as well, I feel like has fallen down the priority list. And then Lenya is like, if you want her for Necrodraken currently, I wouldn't probably Paragon her. Like, she used to be a PvP priority in the past, Paragon upgrade priority, but nowadays, again, the problem is melee heroes are not doing as well. We have much better comps, much better synergies with new heroes being released. That like Lenya is just kind of a relic of the past in a way. So I probably wouldn't Paragon upgrade her. For Paragon upgrades, I would say definitely Theodora and probably Almas as well. Almas has great synergy with Iron in PvP. Also, that's another good S-level Paragon priority, Iron, because you can use Iron Almas comps in PvP, and it's pretty effective. And also, you can just use Almas as a tank without Iron on the team. He's still a really good tank. So yeah, those would be my Paragon priorities. Okay, now for the Graveborns, there are going to be 4 key heroes here. You want to definitely get up one cop. So Shamira will always stay on here because she's a queen of AFK journey. Shamira, you want to max her and get it to Supreme Plus as fast as you can. Once she's at Supreme Plus, then you can swap her out. But like in the early positions, you're going to swap out, like just have another slot here, get 1 copy of Damon, get 1 copy of Thorin, and then you can go and try to max out Ludovic. The reason for this is that Thorin can function relatively well at 1 copy. Damon as well functions well at 1 copy and provides that attack buff. Ludovic needs investment to be a good endless damage dealer. And in endless, like, Ludovic is meta in multiple top teams. So if you don't have Ludovic built, you're going to lose out in endless Dream Realm. And that's why Ludovic is a major priority here. So, but once you're done with Shamir and Ludovic, then you can swap them out for Damon, get him to Mythic Plus, and also Thorin, get him to Mythic Plus, and eventually Damon to Supreme Plus as well. But, and the thing about this season is, again, we have the King Croaker boss, which wants to have Mythic Plus Thorin. But generally, other than King Croaker, Thorin is fine at 1 copy. You didn't even have to invest into him these days anymore. But because of King Croaker, you need a Mythic Plus to be able to take 3 insta-kills. So that is going to be the thing. And as for Paragon priorities, Shamir is a Paragon priority, Ludovic is, Damon is, these are the big 3. Shamir, Ludovic, Damon. Igor is like, for the longer term players, the higher spender players, you have the luxury of also focusing Igor, but Igor is not needed. Like, you know, for those Bonnie stall comps, you can run them with Ludovic and Damon. You don't need to run Igor. And Igor is just a luxury hero, honestly. So, like, but yeah, eventually you can Paragon him if you have the resources, if you're a higher spender or long-term player. Okay, now for the Graveborn A levels, this is where things are interesting. So there are a couple of heroes you want to get at 1 copy. Well, actually just 1. But you want to get Callan at 1 copy. He will, but keep Velka on here. Get Callan at 1 copy because he can help you in early AFK stages and things like that. Now, Velka is really going to become the queen. Her Supreme Plus skill upgrade is really strong, boosting her damage output. Is already making her meta in Dream Realm bosses, which is insane, because she's just an A-level hero, which was kind of like not really used for Dream Realm content at all, even since her release. But now she is actually becoming meta. So you want to rush Velka to Supreme Plus. You'll want to eventually plus 10 exclusive equipment her and also get her Supreme Plus skill upgrade enhanced. Bonnie as well is going to be a priority because Bonnie has Dream Realm usage, she has some AFK stage use, and she's a monster in PvP. So Bonnie is going to be your Paragon upgrade priority. But after you're done with Velka and Bonnie, now it's just PvP heroes left. And it's probably going to be Nero. Nero is a strong PvP hero, works well in those Bonnie dot damage over time comps because Nero can spread the debuffs of Bonnie, spread the debuffs of Satrana. That's a strong option. But Nero is basically only for PvP. You won't even use him that much in AFK stages. But you do want to get Nero to Supreme Plus and even Paragon upgrade him for a PvP contest. So for Paragon upgrade priority, I would say Nero, Bonnie, probably the biggest 2. I don't know, after Supreme Plus skill upgrade, even Velka may have some use in PvP. But I would definitely say, to be safe, it is Nero and Bonnie for Paragon upgrade priority. Of course, after you've already Supreme Plus Velka. Because the Supreme Plus Velka is enough, right? For her Dream Realm usage. But then it could even be Velka for Paragon upgrade. Callan as well is nice for Paragon upgrade. But he's a very, like, again, he's kind of like a luxury hero. You don't need to run him in a team. You can run some other Graveborn hero. We have a bunch of good Graveborn supports and tanks and shielders. So you don't need Callan, but eventually it could be nice to have. Sylvina for offense only, really. And honestly, I don't just really recommend. Personally, I just don't like Sylvina because she's just an offense-specific hero. On defense is very difficult to run her, although she can be running Clash Fronts. That is one thing. So yeah, investing into Sylvina, not bad. Okay, so there we have it. Those are basically, that is basically going to be the list. And just to recap, this is the beginner list like we started off with, and then those are all the changes with the Paragon upgrade priorities and also all the heroes you want to be investing into. The heroes we did not mention basically are skippable. That's how it is. So if we didn't mention them, it probably means they are skippable, and it's just like you do not need to have them. Now for the epic recruitment, this is what I set up for a beginner wish list. It is going to be definitely you want to always have Pandora here. She's a good endless damage dealer, and also she's very good for PvP, and she's only obtainable from the epic recruitment wish list. And you'll want to Paragon her as max as you can. So always keep Pandora here. Shamira as well. She is a queen of AFK journey, like we said. You want to rush her in upgrades, and eventually even Paragon upgrade her. For Paragon upgrades, she is one of the higher priorities as well. Iron, you want to get him Mythic Plus to crowd control the enemies for AFK stages. That's why he's on the starter wish list. We're going to have the Valara because of her dominance, we already explained. And then Ravion as well, because Ravion is good as a buffer early game, like in the pre-endless Dream Realm bosses. So if you can try to just keep him on your wishes from the beginning of your time playing, you can hopefully get him up to Mythic Plus and get some value out of him before you move on to endless bosses. However, there are a lot of more important heroes, like we mentioned in the other wish list. Heroes like Ludovic, very important. Shakira to Mythic Plus, very important. Of course, Mikola to Supreme Plus. All of these are Dream Realm uses, basically. Zoran to Mythic Plus for the King Croaker boss. Sonya even upgraded is gonna boost her effectiveness for Dream Realm. Damon as well, endless Dream Realm bosses, and also just as a buffer. And then your other PvP heroes and Paragon upgrades and things like that. But anyway, that is basically going to be it for the epic recruitment wish list. It basically is just always, oh, another thing, always keep S level heroes here. Don't you ever put A level heroes here. It's not as efficient. You just want to use this for S level heroes, and just the most important meta S level heroes that we talked about when we were also discussing all hero recruitment, and that the heroes you're lacking or the Paragon upgrade priorities. That's how you're going to arrange this wish list, with the exception that Pandora should probably always be on here because she's only obtainable from here. Okay, now for the Stargaze station, it's very simple. It's just twins. You're gonna get twins to Supreme Plus and rush them to Supreme Plus. Don't get distracted by anything else. Then you're gonna get Rainier to Mythic Plus and stop Rainier at Mythic Plus because both are very meta for Dream Realm. After you're done with these two, now is when things get interesting. It was Baelran for Dream Realm, and it probably still is Baelran number 3. All the way to Supreme Plus. However, we need to see in the upcoming days, upcoming weeks, we're going to see endless bosses on VN server and global server. And Aliceth was doing very well on the Pioneer server endless Dream Realm. So with more testing on global, within 3 weeks to 4 weeks in phase 2, we're going to have endless bosses. We're going to be able to make a definitive decision. Who is a more important hero to invest in, Baelran or Aliceth? Because both are seeing endless Dream Realm usage. And so I can't say for sure Baelran is better than Aliceth, for example, but if I had to call him right now, I would probably say Baelran still in number 3 and then Aliceth number 4. The thing about Harok, this is just really unfortunate about Harok, is that he is only good in specific bosses. And this season, he's going to be great in Necrodraken. And if you don't have Harok, you're going to be massively score gap by all the people who have Harok. But Harok is so expensive because not only do you have to build Harok, you have to build food for Harok too. And food for Harok is very expensive. You need to build Feresto up to plus 15 exclusive equipment Supreme. And like, Feresto is not really used in endless bosses that much. We're going to see it, obviously. We're going to have our rotation soon enough. But Feresto and Harok, they're really approaching the end, like the expiry date. In the meta for Dream Realm, in my opinion. And so like, investing into them now feels like such a risky decision. However, if you want to have all your bases covered for endless damage dealers for Dream Realm, you're going to need Feresto and Harok built. Feresto to Supreme plus 15 exclusive equipment minimum, and Harok to Supreme plus 20 exclusive equipment minimum. So that's basically the heavy investment. Now for other heroes, they're basically not going to be for Dream Realm. These other heroes are not going to be for Dream Realm. They're basically going to be, so Saida for AFK stages. If you like to push AFK stages and you want to complete the Apex stages every season, you have no choice. You have to get Saida up to Supreme Plus. Like, you need Supreme plus 15 exclusive equipment minimum to begin the value, but Supreme Plus is like, obviously you should take her to Supreme Plus as well, just for maximum value, if you've already committed all the way to Supreme. The other heroes are PvP. So the two top PvP heroes are Dunlinger and Athalia. These are the two top PvP heroes. Dunlinger as the utility with the ultimate denial is insane. And is such a solid hero. And has huge, like, he's very future proof. Because, like, when are you gonna not want a hero which denies the enemy casting their ultimate? And then you have Athalia, who is the best hyper carry damage dealer assassin in the game with the great survival. So these are the two big ones. However, Cryonai is honestly very interesting as well. But Cryonai is mainly an offense hero, because when you see an enemy team that is susceptible to Cryonai, like, which is basically every hero, and you can even go for like turtle type, like what you can do is if the opponent has Dunlinger, you normally think, oh, well, I can't run Cryonai. But you still can run Cryonai. I'm doing experimentation with that right now. If you run like a really tanky team, like a Kalin shielding Cryonai, Ludovic healing Cryonai, Damon buffing Cryonai, you run all of these heroes just defending the Cryonai. Cryonai can actually survive long enough to outlast the Dunlinger Bell of Order, and then she can get off an ultimate. However, it's made worse and harder because now Dunlinger for some reason got a Supreme Plus skill upgrade because he wasn't powerful enough apparently before that. And now he's gonna, like, you know, after his Bell wears off, he further reduces enemies' energy by 150. And so, like, sometimes Cryonai can't even get an ultimate in before Dunlinger recasts his ultimate. And that's just brutal. That's like, it's it's really insane when that happens, and it's really frustrating as well. But anyway, Cryonite I do like. I think that Cryonite probably would be my favorite hero after Dunling and Athalia for PvP, because I think she's very useful, she's very unique, and there's always going to be value behind that. And if there's some better supports, like, and Kulu works really well with Cryonite, because Kulu further defends the Cryonite, which is really important, and Kulu is a good tech option against melee comps, and just increasing the tankiness of your team. So Cryonite and Kulu, they kind of go well together, but Cryonite I think would be more meta and more important. And then you have all of these other heroes, like we have Talene, Diona, Scarlita, Burial, which honestly, these heroes are just not... I know Diona's getting a skill upgrade right now, but it's like, I do not recommend anyone to be building up these 4 heroes in this day and age. Basically, these are the heroes of the past. These are some of the earliest, like, it's literally the 3 earliest heroes, Diona, Scarlita, Burial, and then Talene, which is one of the first Celestial Hypergenes released. So they're all past their due date, basically. They're not going to be a priority for you to be upgrading right now, or investing into, because newer, better and newer things are going to be coming on the horizon. So anyway, guys, that's going to be basically it for this video. Hopefully it's helpful. Good luck with your summons, and if you have any other tips, you can feel free to share them in the comment section down below. But thanks for watching. If you guys are not already a member of my AFK Journey Discord server, please join that, and you can feel free to ask me any questions there. There's a link to that in the description of this video. Also, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. There is a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.